Alright, what's up? This is Nathan Furniss, and I'm here with Yelawolf.
Yeah, what up, man?
We're just going to do a little short interview and see how Yellow's kicking it. So, Yellow, man, you started in Alabama.
Yeah, man.
And where did it all start, man? When did you come up? When did you feel like this is exactly what you wanted to do? You said you grew up with country music, classic rock.
Yeah.
And that's what you grew up on. What transferred to hip-hop? When did you get your flow on?
Well, I was like 6 or 7 when my mom's boyfriend gave me Beastie Boys and Run DMC tapes. And he was on tour, or had been on tour, before they got together with Aerosmith, sometime before they got together. And on the Rock This Way tour, you know, super old school. And he had some tapes left over from that tour. So he hit me up with some tapes, man, and I just started listening. You know, I remember specifically Paul Revere being like my favorite song, period. I didn't know what I was listening to because he didn't tell me, hey, this is hip-hop, this is what this is. He just gave them to me, you know. So I was listening to that right alongside Yes and 10,000 Maniacs and Charlie Daniels and Hank. It was a paradox. And I was out in the middle of the country, man, living on a river down a gravel road. And I don't know, man. I think, you know, destiny is what it is, you know. It was just meant for me to hear it. I had a real creative mind. I used to write a lot. You know, I draw all the time. I used to write short stories when I was a kid before music, like make up stories and animate them, and even stories that rhyme, because I'm trying to imitate Dr. Seuss and stuff like that. So I just had a knack for writing. So I started writing about the 5th grade. I started writing my first raps and stuff. And it was just a hobby, really, up until like 2000. I thought it was something that I might want to pursue. And then I worked those years up until 07 when I got my first deal. You know,
Ghetto Vision?
Ghetto Vision, yeah. And you know, I had played around with all kinds of different sounds, you know what I'm saying, exploring my own voice and my angle. And I moved to a trailer park after I moved out of South 11th Street in Gadsden. And it was there where it all like snapped into place, where culturally I found something that I knew all about, and I knew exactly how to describe, you know, and I knew the world had never heard it perfectly, you know, had never been like given that honestly, and like with no shame, you know, like, yeah, okay, this is poor white trash, dirty South, you know, like, but for real, not trying to be clean, not trying to, you know, wear a fade no more, you know, fuck it, man. Just accepting my own reality,
right,
and writing about that. And that's where the table turned, and that was 05, 06. And then when I started putting out mixtapes and doing shows, caught the attention of Courtney Seal from my manager, Jeremy Jones. Courtney Seal called Kawan Prather, who was working at Columbia, who runs Ghetto Vision. Inked a deal. We were there for a short while. Rick Rubin came and fired everybody in 07. And so we went back to the streets, and we just grinded out from like 07 up until now. And after South by Southwest, inked a deal with Interscope. I mean, it feels great, man. You know, first signing with Jimmy Iovine and Luke and Todd Parker was huge.
Oh yeah, bro.
You know, that, and like being treated respectfully by a CEO was something I had never experienced before. And Jimmy's super respectful, knew about the music and knew what he was talking about. Didn't ask me to tap dance in his office like all these other clowns. An even bigger step forward was partnering with Eminem and Paul Rosenberg on Shady.
How does that feel like? I know you've been asked a million times. I know you have.
I never get tired of answering it, man. Like, it's like having a gold medal almost, you know. It's an honor, man. Like, that's the only way to describe it, you know. Like, I never saw it coming. When I met Marshall, I went to Detroit, and that was it. I didn't know that it was going to turn into a deal. That was some months ago, and I thought it was just a meet and greet, you know. And homie had picked up he picked up Trump music, and he was familiar with my music, which was just mind blowing. You know, he just knew about my stuff, and
that's kind of how I want to go into this question right here. Trump music. Now, me and all my friends cop Trump music. You in front of the Chevy with the original album cover, Trump music. Right. What made you want to re-release it as a record with some extra tracks, or where, you know, how it came out from the mixtape? What made you want?
The reason why Interscope, and surprisingly, you're the only person who's ever asked me this out of every interview I've done. I usually tell them myself without them asking. But the reason why we re-released Trump music with some added extras is because I had just recently signed, and there was a lot of big albums coming out that year. Kanye, you know, and we wanted to have something on the shelf for all the kids going in the stores, right? You know, and we also wanted to just have an opportunity to distribute Trump music from Interscope because, I mean, really, the label loved the project, you know, but we didn't want to re-release something that we had been giving away for free, right, with a ticket. So we tacked on 6 new records just to make it worth buying. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that was Trump Music 0 to 60, and it was set up to be a warm-up and, you know, just to create some awareness. We knew that it wasn't going to do big numbers. We actually only shipped out 5,000, you know, and they sold out. Now we had to reship, and it keeps selling. It's selling all the time. I think that that's a record that over time will just continue to grow its own, you know what I'm saying, legs, and just one of those underground projects that I think will be around, you know, forever. You know, it'll always sell. People will always go back and get it. But it was a mixtape, and it was a setup for Radioactive, which is my summer. Right,
release. And that was gonna be my next question, man. We've been seeing Twitter posts, you know, stuff about it coming this summer. Yeah, man. Can we look? Do we have a more closer date that you've been thinking of, or nothing official yet?
No, we were supposed to be doing March, but then they told me to just start saying summer. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna stick to it. And but I mean, everybody's excited, man. The project I'm so proud of it, and it's a real like obvious difference between that and Trump music and Radioactive is like an immediate, when you hear it, it's immediately this is an album for real. Like it feels big. It feels like an album, you know, like we've been sitting on records and ideas for so many years because we always felt like, man, we can't give this away, man. This is not for free. The free thing wasn't the issue. The issue was we felt like it was too big to not have distribution. It needs to be out in the world. The world needs to hear these records all together. You know, we need radio everywhere. This is not just something that should grow from a small town in Alabama and spread out. It needs to immediately be out, you know. I mean, that's just how we felt. So we went in to make Radioactive. We had that in mind. We were making worldwide music now. You know, it's not, I'm taking elements of everything that has inspired me and have made this album, you know. And there's some more organic sounds in there, you know, which I'm excited about because it's kind of taking baby steps toward eventually having a band again, which I was rocking with for a while, which is a lot of fun. I mean, we'll always keep the hip-hop element in there, you know, rocking with a DJ. But eventually I really see myself with a full band, you know, on down the line, man. So it's kind of like going toward that.
That's what's up. Is Radioactive done?
Radioactive is finished, man. I mean, you know, no projects are ever finished until
they're out, right?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like, you know, I could fall in the studio tomorrow and do something that makes it, but it'll be really hard because it's there. It makes perfect sense, and there's great surprise features that I can't tell you who.
Oh man, that was my next question.
No, I can't spoil that, man.
I feel you.
There's enough available online that I'm keeping this as sacred as possible. You know, I don't want to ruin it.
What's this this leak I'm hearing? 2.0 boys. Is this something that was meant to be put out, or is this something that leaked that you know of?
Yeah, that was planned. Pretty good about. We got a good squad, man. If something's out, it was planned, you know. We got monsters for management. Right. You know what I'm saying? The label is not no game. Yeah, M wanted to put it out, so there it is. You know, 2011 summer release, Radioactive. Freshman, Shady release.
All right, Yelawolf, thank you very much for being with me, man. That's what's up, man.
Thanks
and
for
we'll be
having me.
hollering at you soon.
Holler.